YouTube, welcome to the top 8 grand finale and top deck list where we are not seeing Ryzeal nor Maliss. It is time with the TCG ban list, Maxx also being banned. In addition to that, Apollo is banned. Is this a better game? We could all agree that the TCG ban list is not perfect for Master Duel. It is with side deck in mind, but if we create something close to the TCG ban list, maybe it's better than the Master Duel ban list. At least this event itself is a lot more diverse. Even if we could say the event is more unbalanced, there's a lot of toxic strategies popping up like Floodgates, even Baguska Floodgate. We have first turn kills, but with more diversity, I think it's overall much more enjoyable. So Konami, please take note of this. Your player count is plummeting. You got to do something. You have to make the game more diverse, and this could be one of those ideas. Are you ready? Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Dark Blade is going to be popping itself. We do have Droll and Lockbird. We're now going to hit him with the Droll on the effect of adding. We're going to call by the grave. Finger that Droll. Not today. So easily this could have been Apollo. Now we awkwardly have a Dark Blade and a horse, which we didn't really know what to do with. Little Knight plus these other two, it would obviously have been a 4 material Apollo, and this really does not add to our disruptions. As we have the Creation King, being able to pop multiple cards in the field, we can banish with the Little Knight. We can take control of a monster with the effect of the combined Creation Searcher or adding a Mace. We could then pop multiple cards with the Memento Fusion. Instead of 8 disruptions, we have 4. Seems pretty good to me. More balanced. There's a chance to make a play. I mean, we probably still lose because 4 is still a lot when in our hand we have a brick, a brick, a brick, and a single play. 1 play versus 4 disruption. We got to draw into something really good. That's really good. That's great. Barrel, setting up a Lordy Load into our back row. That's going to trigger the combine to summon the Anguish, searching for the Mace. Now, we can't take control of a monster if we have no room to take control of your monster with. We're now going to search for the Mausoleum, which will allow the additional summon with the Wishes grabbing a Sage potentially. We're going to pop the Lordy Load and the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit with Eyes of Blue is essentially a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which has now been denied from being summoned onto the field. We now have room to take control of your monster. Wishes, which you do not have a negate for. Let's search our deck for 2 cards. We do have the additional summon. But if I know you're reliant on the Mausoleum to summon the Sage, I may just right here, right now, Memento Fusion, pop it and draw 2. I will lose the Mace, though. We don't. We allow it. Sage on summon, we're going to Little Knight, banish away the Sage, and we still have 2 more disruptions. We could pop with the Fusion, could take control with the Mace. Maiden is going to set up the True Light. True Light could summon the Blue Eyes from the hand. And we're going to pop it with Guardian Chimera, which will then wipe away the potential Maiden and Blue Eyes on the field. Unfortunately, with still a Mace left to disrupt as the Guardian Chimera is about to get disrupted right now. Get ready for it. Now, we just don't trigger Maiden because we have Roar the Blue-Eyed Dragon to summon a Maiden from the grave as we summon a Blue Eyes. So we're still in a decent spot. We're probably still screwed, but we're down to the final play versus the final disruption. What is the way? Summon a Blue Eyes. Reborn the Maiden. If we target Maiden, it reborns a monster from a grave. So we're going to target the Blue Eyes to take control. Why couldn't Mace say it has to take control of an effect monster? Of course it doesn't. Spirit with Eyes of Blue, tribute to reborn a Blue Eyes White Dragon. There's this illusion that Sabori still has a chance thanks to there being no Apollo. And, I mean, this is great. 3,400 and I can attack every single monster on the field. I mean, what am I talking about? We have a great chance. Wow. We can't take out the combined, of course. Say goodbye to the Chimera, reset a trap from the grave. This is great. This, I think, even without Maliss being played, is why Apollo should be banned. Apollo just made this duel 100 times more enjoyable. There is an actual back and forth. Now, we grab back our Blue Eyes. What do we have here? We just have the Majesty to non-target pop up to 2 cards on the field. 1 for 1. Send the Foolos. See, Apollo, of course, is broken beyond Maliss. Maliss is just further showcasing how broken Apollo is. Let's Memento target the combined creation to reborn a monster with a lower level. Anguish is back on the field, plus the Acheron. Acheron is a really cheesy way to win the game. Now, with its effect resolving, a combined creation plus a creation king can just ignore all the monsters on the field and attack directly. Now, the True Light will not wipe away our field if it were face down when popped. Let's now fuse it up into the Creation King, summon the combined creation, and then win. Still going to use our effects, send 3 cards in the deck to the grave, return 5. Boy, I'm not trying to nerf Memento, but Creation King should have been 29, not 3K. What? Why perfect 8K to the face? Why? That is so cheesy. Let's go to game 2. Maiden with Eyes of Blue. I talked about this earlier. Even though the Master Duel version of Memento is still playing Super Poly and Droplet, but I feel board breakers in general, because of Call by the Grave, Maxx, and Ash not being as necessary, you do have other options to build your deck. Now, of course, the majority of decks are still going to play Ash and still play Called By. It's just nice to see that an alternative strategy is more viable. Not better, though. More viable than not being viable at all. Let's Maiden Reborn off of the Blue Eyes being summoned. Come forth into the Tyrant Dragon. Let's make a Spirit Dragon. And what are our disruptions here? We have Layered Disruption, Field, Back Row, Hand. We have negate an interaction with the deck, negate 2 monsters on the field, negate a 3rd monster on the field with the impermanence, negate any card in the field with the Spirit Dragon into ultimate. We have the Majesty, which will be able to pop up to 2 cards non-targeting. This seemingly innocent-looking field is a massive 6 forms of disruption. Let's go. What? Set 5 pass. Bone Party needs to pop a Memento. Fusion needs 2 Mementos to fuse into. Super Poly needs 2 monsters on the field to fuse into. And Droplet needs a follow-up because it does not contribute to a board presence. We're going to we're just going to flip up everything. They can't even have a quick effect on the hand activatable because all 5 cards. Oh my Jesus. We were going to Lightstorm Dragon, right? I wish we would have seen that. So let me read exactly what would have happened here. I think all 5 back row cards would have been destroyed. Am I correct in saying that? Let's see that. Lightstorm Dragon. You special summon this off of the Spirit Dragon. Target spell and trap cards up to the number of normal monsters in your grave +1. So that would be the +1 is 1. And then there's a Blue Eyes and another Blue Eyes. So destroy 3 back row cards. And then the Majesty was going to be destroying 2 back row cards because we had 2 Blue Eyes. 5 back row cards wiped out. All right. Game number 3. Dark Blade poppin' D. What are the risks of using an imperm onto the Dark Blade? They could have a Goblin spell that will dodge it. They could have the Bone Party, which could dodge it. These are both 3 of, so that's 6 cards. They could also have a Memento Fusion, which is another, that's 9 cards to dodge this. Now, the Memento Fusion would require another Memento in the hand, and it's not that we have to use it in response to activating, it's just that we could extend beyond this, thus the effectiveness of the impermanence is not as good. And we're just going to allow it to resolve, and then we'll extend with the Memento Fusion. We're going to be set the Bone Party. So we're going to have access to take control of a monster, to banish a monster, to negate a monster, to pop monster, to probably pop monster again. About 5 disruption. It's still broken. Well, that Ash can't be used on Bone Party. It's turned off. We are under the downside of Pulse. Purge, that is. Drawing the ass. Oh my gosh. Drill Beam is going to negate and banish the combined creation mate. No, it's not. It's going to dodge it with the Bone Party. Nice try. Just like that, we dodge it, summon the Anguish from the deck. But now we can't Mace take control of a monster. We do have the ability with the Creation King to pop multiple cards in the field. There's no way to summon a combined creation onto the field during the opponent's turn. There's no effect that will allow that. We have the Barrel, which we're going to just pop before the Drill Beam resets itself back on the field, also stopping it before it goes into a Link 1. With more disruptions, we had Negate, Pop, Mates, scooping it up. 2-1 victory. Let's go. Begin. Now, normally the Red Ransom here is in a pickle. We don't have a way to get engraved, thus we don't have a way to banish it, but because we have the GWC off of the White Rabbit here, we can banish it. We're gonna banish from the deck a Dormouse, come forth, and now we're gonna banish the Red Ransom, reborn back the White Rabbit, Red Ransom, come back, banish from the deck, Chessie Cat, Chessie, get ready to draw 2. Oh, Drill Beam's probably not going to be a play. Tachyon is our 1-card play, so if they have 1 disruption for our 1 play, theoretically we lose unless we draw into a really good card off the top of the deck. If we draw into a Primite card, Drill Beam can, I guess, negate MTP, or I negate and banish Cryptor, but then it comes back and it's activatable to banish me again. What do we even do? Now, technically, you could chain the Drill Beam to the Cryptor activating, and then if it is... Wait, does it have to negate and banish? I guess, okay, it negates the card, then banishes it, and then it's no longer pointing to a card, so it is then going to be negated on the effect to banish. So quite an interesting situation with the Drill Beam, and we drew exactly that. We have the ability to use Drill Beam with Primite Lordy Load. But do we want to bait the load? Do we activate the load early to maybe have them use a disruption? They have a Cryptor, banish a card we control. They have the effect also of MTP, banish a card we control. They could also Drone Lockbird us. Not going to count the Druistorm just for simplicity's sake. Let's grab the Ryzeal. Return the 7th Ascension back on top. Drone Lockbird. Oh, that kills us. Deleting our chance to even try. I mean, we're still going to lose that, but it would have been a lot more interesting to make some plays, get searching, negate the Cryptor. Cryptor reborns a monster alongside it, so it's not negated. Is Pot of P rightfully banned? We banished 6 cards. If you view Pot of P as pretty much picking up the entire deck and adding whatever they want, then Ash is a good negate. Otherwise, you generally don't negate a 1-for-1. We're going to barrel, set the Lordy Load, grab a Drill Beam. Ooh, we got, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 disruptions, mate. Allure of Darkness, not today. I banish thee. A card that, for some reason, is not a hard once per turn. That is crazy. We're now down to 7 disruption. Gold Sark, a combo starter and extender. As we banish away the Chessie, we're going to cross negate. Not today. As we have the March Hare into a Lingaribo to pin down the Plasma Hole here. We have Druiswarm attempting to banish, Detonator, get rid of that Lingaribo. Down to just 5 disruptions left. Okay. What now? As the Druiswarm goes through to banish the March Hare. March Hare, add to the hand here. We already used up our normal summon. To battle we go. Swing into the Duo Drive. Damage step. Send the Detonator to the graveyard. So we still have the pop, negate. We're using the negate, and then we could still pop. We still have 4 disruption for some reason. 4. Plug-in Reborn's Detonator, giving it 2 disruption. The Plasma Hole pops, and the Plasma Hole gives it another pop. We just reborn the Duo Drive instead for a follow-up play. Crazy. Starter, extender, starter, hand trap, hand trap, hand trap. Negate the Jessie. Wow. Starter, starter, not starter and extender, not a starter and extender. And this is a 2 combo card starter. So we had 0 hand trap resilience against 3 hand traps. We lost to a single freaking hand trap. Now, we at least have our impermanent Ash. 2 plays, 2 hand traps. But if we hand trap both plays, you could then combine both plays into a 3rd play to make a duo drive. Balance. And we have a sword. we have more. Barrel is here. You stop the barrel, we could follow up with the 7th Ascension. You stop the Ascension, we could, you know, actually the sword would not be special summonable unless we get a Ryzeal on the field. So this could be a good negate as sword is now stuck, mate. Great, okay. So I was more so talking about the monster itself that we searched for with the Tachyon being stopped to turn into the 3rd play to make the duo drive. So with that not being the case, just stopping the 7 Tachyon itself, it works out great. Now, why don't we make a duo drive here? It would just not be activatable. We do have the Drill Beam activatable, Ghost Bell, and Ash still here. Triple Disruption, let's go. Harpy freaking Feather Duster, let's negate and banish you. And then we have the White Rabbit play, and with Call by the Grave. So we have our Hand Trap Resilience, which in a way could be seen similarly to an extender, helping you play through a hand trap. MTP, but Ash negate the Call by the Grave, finger the Ash. Ghost Bell, negate the finger. Negate. And now what? The White Rabbit comes back out onto the field alone and afraid with nothing to combo up with. We have a White Rabbit and an Impermanence. Maliss went first, and they're losing. Whoa. Damn. Another Ghost Bell off the top of the deck. Reset the Drill Beam. Normal summon the sword, not special it. You negate the sword with no other disruption. This now turns into duo drive for game. And this is what I was talking about earlier. If you stop the barrel, stop a Ryzeal, then they go into duo drive for the 3rd play, which further emphasizes the importance of negating a card like Tachyon so that they cannot do that. Let's summon the X, trigger the aggregate, chain link block the X, special the node, send the bell. How's the win rate under this new ban list for going first? Possibly it's more balanced. We know with Master Duel, the turn 1 win rate is 70%. For Maliss, it was 80% at the World Championship. And we had Maliss going first, not winning. Now, to be fair, Maliss had no extenders. I think a normal Maliss hand, the expectation is they're going to have a starter plus an extender. They just had a starter and 2 hand traps. Very much unfair. And what we were saying was pretty much an almost ideal hand. 2-1 victory. Let's send the aggregate for the X Ryzeal, searching for the sword. Let's speed this up. Maybe we want a full loss right now. Yes, full loss number 1. Do we cross out designate? Negate. We have another full loss, mate. Just like that, we play through the negate. What do you want to do under a full loss? I would make a duo and search 2 cards, and maybe from there, you could possibly just even further commit. I don't know about normaling ice to summon for the deck under a full loss, which we still did anyway. You know, the star does give us that. We're gonna give them 3 draws and still not care. Oh, we're not. Nope, I'm not gonna make the duo drive. I'm gonna make a 4 material Ryzeal detonator. This is dangerous against an impermanence. We have no imperm resilience, but now we know they can't imperm, and if they can get the Druiswarm into the graveyard early, not only does imperm mess this up, but also Druiswarm battle phase, but actually we do stop the Druiswarm because the cross negates it. So imperm was really the only issue here. 4 pops, one of them could be a negate, Valor and Nibiru, 6 disruption, and they got to draw just 2 off of the full loss. What? Bro, what the? No darks in hand. And he activated Allure. Didn't even set Gold Sark. Funky does not care. He does not care. Okay. What? Well, this essentially is an imperm. So we just lost 4 disruption. We still have the cross to be able to negate. Gold Sark, banish from the deck, mate. We used up the cross. We have Veiler, Nibiru, and we have the negate with the field spell, which we're now down to just 2 disruption. Funky could not check Nibiru with Apollo nor negate it. No Nibiru check, no Nibiru negates. We're going to finger the Veiler, negates. And now, we just have to use Nibiru perfectly after the impulse could just negate it. So there is no perfect use of the Nibiru. It will get negated. Funky should win this. And I guess we can say Fualos won this duel, right? Even without Maxx, Fualos helped win. Now, according to the World Championship analytics, the Mulcharmy cards, when activated and resolved on average, only increased the win rate by 7%. So it was like from 30% win rate to a 37% chance to win if going second and resolving a Mulcharmy. Now, unfortunately, because of the shared card rule, we didn't have as much data as we wanted on that because most teams did not share the Mulcharmy cards. Meaning among 6 different decks with 3 copies of Fualos, they had to spread those 3 copies among whatever 6 different decks. If one deck's using 2, they only have 1 Fualos left to put in another deck. Normal the Ice Ryzeal into the Sword Ryzeal, searching for an X. So I was hearing and also thinking about some interesting scenarios with Ryzeal on which card is it better to start with. Should you normal ice or special ice X Ryzeal first? The argument for summoning ice over X, I think, is pretty good. Because if you summon X Ryzeal, what are they going to do? They're going to imperm. Then you normal summon ice, what are they going to do? They're going to impulse. Impulse will destroy the ice. If you start with ice, if they imperm the ice, you now could summon X Ryzeal and it doesn't get impermed. If they impulse the ice does not get destroyed. It stays on the field. So by summoning ice first, it ensures it could bait out an impermanence, or it could force an early use of an impulse that now will not even destroy the card, and then you can Xyz with it. So I think, that small little nuance there, especially in a Maliss heavy meta, is why you should consider normaling ice instead. Let's Ryzeal Detonator, attempt to attach from engrave. The Aggregator, Baldrake is going to banish away. Banish. Let's set and pass. What do we have here? We have pop, 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 negate interaction with the deck, negate again with the Veiler, 6 disruption, but no play. Funky with nothing. Can't even use the effect of Baldrake to banish a monster summoned from the extra deck. Now, he doesn't absolutely have nothing. He does have a finger and an impulse. Impulse could negate ice, summoning from the deck. Impulse can negate node, summoning from the grave. Detonator is going to pop away the other impulse. Wipe it away. And now we're left with just a finger. Finger it up. Say goodbye to the ice. To battle we go. Baldrake be gone. We have Veiler and Ash and Imperm plus 2 pop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disruptions. Konami sees this, and this is why they're going to give Maliss 3 new backup Ignisters for, a good time. There you go. Backup Ignister for further consistency, boosting up the deck. Plasma Hole, pop on the Dormouse before it activates. As I talked about the old rule of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dormouse would be activatable before the Plasma Hole. That was a fun time. Detonator, say goodbye to the Dormouse. And I remember saying earlier, the negate was contingent on the banish. If you don't banish, you don't negate. The Detonator will not be negated. Let's read that real quick again to double check. Banish a Maliss. If you do, negate, thus no negate. Ledge, GWC back on the field. Detonator, wipe away the Call by the Grave. But you now can't finger the Veiler, as the Veiler could now negate the Dormouse, or the Impermanence could also negate it. Ryzeal's in a great spot here. Say goodbye to the finger. I don't know if it's a feeling, but I feel like today's event is more interactive. I feel the turns are longer. I feel there is more of a back and forth. I'm not trying to be biased. I don't suck up to the TCG. You all should know that. I don't know. Something is feeling better today. Back to funky. Funky. What? Do you not know how to shuffle your deck? How do you GWC, MTP? What is this? Pile shuffle, learning. Plasma hole in the battle phase. Exceeds into the Zeus. Lethal damage. Well done. Chessie Cat, Ash, negate. Finger the out. No, we don't have to. We're just not going to finger it. Just let it get negated. That is fine. We'll hold the finger for something better. Lingaribo can give us some protection from a potential impermanence. Bomber Dragon. First of all, this is not a hard once per turn disruption. What is its disruption? When a monster is summoned to where it points to, and here you go, it points to your 3 back row and it points forward, so the opponent could summon to trigger its mandatory activation. And the mandatory activation is if a monster is special summoned to where this points to, destroy all monsters in the main zone so it would not destroy itself, and it could happen more than once. So how we would make it happen more than once could be we GWC to wipe the field, we March Hare to wipe the field again. So this could be possibly likely around 2 extra disruptions. We have the Imperm, we have the Called By, we have the MTP to non-target banish, about 5 forms of disruption. Are you ready? 7th Tachyon is going to search our deck, returning a card from the hand back. I think all 1-card combos should have something that, in a way, returns a card back, discards a card, or banishes to make it more balanced. Ryzeal should not exist. Ryzeal on search should have to return a card back. Negate! The Topologic Bomber Mate. We lose at least 2 of our disruptions we likely would have made use of. We summon the Binder. We're going to, with the Binder, banish away the Aggregator. And that ensures that a Node Ryzeal now can't be special summoned. There has to be an Xyz on field or engrave, not a Ryzeal card. And so this was essentially another form of disruption I was not counting as a disruption. Chessie Cat, come back. White Rabbit's gonna set up the MTP. And the MTP, maybe, is gonna banish the Ryzeal before the Sword special summons, which the best follow-up play would be to then normal summon an Ice, which we do have, of course. Let's banish the X. Sword cannot be special summoned. As we now normal the Ice. Ice on normal summon for the deck into the Star. Star set from the deck, our Plasma Hole. Let's further go into the Exciton Knight. Wipe away the entire field just like that. Call by the grave, fingering the Veiler. You don't want to finger the Star Ryzeal? Finger Veil instead. I guess this ensures that they can't Veiler you on the next turn. And you know, the Cross could return the banished Star back. I guess that could be okay for that reason. We're now going to Full Loss after the Ice Ryzeal has been summoned before they commit to the extra deck. March Hare is going to be negated. Plasma Hole is going to chain Xyz before the March Hare effect resolves, and the Cross will detach off of whatever we summon. I love this play. Come forward, Duo Drive, and you're negated. Now, we can attach the Star or the Ice. We chose to not negate. We can negate the card that's banished instead, which makes sense. If we don't want them to keep the March Hare in their hand for the next turn, sure, that's fine. And we still have the battle phase to attack over the March Hare. So more so the excitement is that we're negating the March Hare play, which was to trigger a banished card. We are going to Ash, negate the Duo Drive, and because we had to negate the Red Ransom, we could not negate the Ash. Turn 2 cards, draw 1, to battle we go. We got a back and forth here. We do have a monster negate. We do have an Ash negate interaction with the deck. We do have the Dormouse simply getting negated by Cross or negating whatever they banish instead. Yes, Cross, detach. And we're in this scenario where the Duo Drive cannot search for the next turn. We don't have a guaranteed follow-up. Now, we do get to draw 2 cards during the next turn. We actually don't. We don't have 2 Ryzeal cards engraved to even use the Cross. This is not on. This is not on. We have to top deck something good. Let's see what happens. Well, do we have a banished card to use the cross? Correction, the cross is okay. I think I was incorrectly saying the cross could use banished cards. I was thinking plug-in. So my mistake on that. We're going to use the graveyard, but we didn't top deck into what we wanted. We're going to go into a Utopic Ray Lancer. Utopic Ray Lance reduce the attack and double attack, but not enough for game. 25-25. But now that we have 2 monsters in grave, we're going to return back, draw 1. Looking back, I think we should have banished the star. Because we've been perfectly having enough Ryzeals to use the cross. If we had them on 1 less Ryzeal, they would have not been at the point where they could have used the cross. Now we have the ability to wipe the field. We could also Ash Blossom to gain interaction with the deck. We're drawing blanks. What is going on? Wipe the field! And just like that, Ami with the Zeus on field for game. I was also mixing up the cross field spell with the Rescue Ace one. Rescue Ace could return the banished cards back. Lethal damage, very nice. I enjoyed the Plasma Hole chain to the March here, making sure to negate the banished card triggering. 2-1 victory. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Let's start this off with the Marincess Basilima. We're going to call by the grave, finger that Fool Loss. Well, I have a second Fool Loss to ensure that we're going to draw per summon from the deck or extra deck. This is a 60-card special summon slop deck. What keeps it in check is Maxx and Fool Loss. With Fool Loss resolving, we're just ending. And there's 2 different ways to have hand trap resilience. You could have it through extenders. You could also just have hand traps yourself. Hand traps counter hand traps because it allows you to just end your turn and still have disruption. We still have 2 negates. Wedju Temple, which we could pop it with Ogre if we want to, or wait for the card they set up to activate, then pop it. We, of course, don't play Ogre ourselves. What's interesting is a 60-card deck should not consistently have 2 hand traps in their opening hand. I would think so on average. That is definitely rare. Inclusion, grab the Sulfador here. Sulfador activating the special summon. Impulse is going to negate. Not destroy, keep in hand. Impulse locking us out of the light, earth, and wind. We now do not have to fear Nibiru, no Veiler. Off the top of the deck, we have the Ice Jade Ran, which requires us to discard a water monster from the hand. Cross out Designate is going to rip an Ash out of the deck, just thin it up. Is Basilima going to be a good play into what we link into? We go into the Sea Angel, which will grab the Dive. Let's dive into our deck. Marincess Dive can reborn from Engrave. And from here, we're going to go into the Anemone. Anemone is going to reborn the Basilima. Further link this up into a Blue Slug. Blue Slug will add a card engraved back to the hand. And now the Ice Jade is live. Level 10 Synchro. As we now go into the Coral Triangle, we have the Anemone sent to the grave, add back the Dive for next turn. Triangle discard, what? Why? No, we got rid of the Ice Jade Ran. I thought we were going to do some cool plays with that. As we now make the Bubble Reef. Bubble Reef to the battle phase. We do have the ability to make the Bubble Reef completely unaffected by all card effects and negate a monster in the field, and we're also going to draw a card. Draw into a Nibiru, banish the Ran, top deck into a Prince for the very next turn. We have the Citri, which we're going to pop with the Sulfador. Do we Marincess wave it? Negate it. Just like that. No send of 2 cards in the deck to the grave for you. Ending the turn. No, we have the inclusion to reborn back onto the field, the Citri. Citri and Sulfador into the Crystron Alesk. Alesk going to add back the inclusion that we banished to reborn. Holy moly, we played right through that disruption to give us at least the ability to pop a card in the field. Do we pop this early before it goes to the battle phase, to the standby phase, that is? If we popped it, they would not have been able to draw. Otherwise, we're just going to wait. It does have the ability to pop 2 cards in the field. We have Nibiru to tribute off the field, double disruption. The Light Stage has this crazy effect that's not really going to matter. It can target the set card. They have to flip it up. They'll just flip it up early in response. That's fine. There you go. We're actually just using the effect. We're not just gonna flip it up and hold. We're gonna get popping. What? Basalima applied the effect of protecting. If a monster would be destroyed, you could banish this card from the graveyard instead. Did we even knew that was an effect? We at least got rid of the field spell from searching the deck for a Trickstar monster at least. Bubble Reef getting boosted. We're gonna be reborning a banished Anemone. Bubble Reef does so much. What the heck? Prince is gonna send from the deck a Squad to grab the Poseidra. Squad will summon from the deck a Dragoons. We're gonna send the Prince to summon the Poseidra. Trigger the Nepta Prince to reborn a monster as the Poseidra sends from the deck to bounce a card in the field back to the hand. Nibiru is waiting. I don't think we have any Nibiru check. We have no Nibiru negate, no Nibiru check. We just wait, or this could have been us trying to enter the battle phase. So we just Nibiru, wipe up the field. Anemone is going to be adding the Bubble Reef back into the extra deck. 3,200 defense is hopefully enough. Oh, well, the cluster could just pop it. PJ Styles, this is the end for you, my friend. I think so. We have no form of disruption in the graveyard. There's no random Abyss Shrine to even draw into a hand trap here. Let's finish this up. Sulfador, Tristaros, Crystron, Alesk, add back the banished Smiger to our hand. Tristaros pop the Crystron Alesk, summon 2 bodies from the deck, reborn a Banisher Engrave back in the field, inclusion reborn from Engrave. 10,000 damage cluster, take out that token, and just like that, 10,000 damage, turn 6. Games are not ending within the first 2 turns. Bro, it's water versus water. You can't normal barrier then pass. What? We don't even have to droplet that. It literally just does nothing. Okay. I'm gonna special my water, which then specials a water, which we're gonna synchro into a water. We're gonna add back our cluster. We're gonna special summon 2 waters from the deck and then special summon a water from the grave. We're gonna special summon another water. 8,300 worth of waters. 10,000 water damage. That seemed like a water animation even, right? Maybe I have not been noticing. Do water monsters have an animation? That water streak, is that water? 2-0. Let's go. Let's go. Are you telling me with the TCG ban list that Crystron is now a top tier deck? We have Droll Lockbird, Tristaros Disruption, Infinity, negate anything, Dragster, negate a spell and trap card, 4 forms of Disrupt. Tachyon into Dragster negate. Now Tristaros could go into the Excel Synchron to make a level 10 Synchro thanks to the Dragster becoming a level 5. We still have the Omni negate. What was our hand? It was Node. And what else? Node and Ice? Was it Ice? Yeah, we had Ice. So our only play was normal Ice. It gets destroyed by Infinity. Then Node is stuck in our hand. Rip. Let's hop into game 2. Wow, through 3 hand traps, we were able to win the duel. 7th, Tachyon, Ash, negate. Try to finger me, I dare you. We have Lancia to stop that finger. We don't even bother because we got the bonfire. Follow up just like that. Ryzeal. Send the aggregator, search our deck for the sword. Sword special summon. As we further search for the ice, we have not committed to a normal summon yet, and now we're gonna Full Loss it up. Call by the Great Finger into the Lancia, stopping the finger. You will allow me to draw per summon from the deck or extra deck. Which, now, what do we do with the Ice Ryzeal? Ice summons from the deck. We're summoning from the extra deck right now. Do we make a detonator and pass? Detonator, attach the aggregator. So this ensures we have 4 forms of disruption through just the detonator, a 5th with the impermanence. 5 disruption, What the heck? You top decked a droplet? That's crazy. Even the whole power of the Millennium Engine sucks against Ryzeal, obviously, because we pop it, but randomly into droplet, let's stop it. Negate by sending the Ash Blossom Mate. Now, this does not completely turn off our forms of disruption. We could still cross, aggregator, and impermanence. We still have 3 forms of disruption. Well, the detonator just died because it also got reduced by the droplet. So the 3 now goes to 1. We only have impermanence. What the heck is going on? Is Ryzeal getting 2-0'd? No way. Senjin into the back row. What is this? Lethal damage, 775 to 75. Okay. What? It's main phase 2. It's main phase. Sorry. Whoops. Damn. Shoot. Why not battle phase number 2? Damn. Zombie vampire getting negated. Bro, TCG, you could just like shove your field. Not trying to trick your opponent, not trying to cheat. Don't clip this and get me in trouble on Twitter. But, you know, just like touch your cards, and if they scoop, that's on them. Banish away the Ryzeal Cross. There's no way to recycle that back. Ice can get banished by Little Knight. Sword could get banished by Little Knight. We're just chilling, mate. I think we're, yeah. Not much we can do here. Light Dragon Ignister is going to force the activation of Little Knight that you've been holding on to. I could follow up with the Node. The Node's going to give me a fresh, brand new rank 4 Xyz. This was a good attempt. We almost won. We almost 2-0'd. Almost. It was close. Do a drive, 52. Just like that. Lethal damage. All right. +4 in 3 seconds. Yep. Sanjin in the back row. Dude's got 4 hand traps and a combo starter. That is wild. You could maybe, you know, the Molt Charm is almost an extender if we choose to not use it, because if our starter gets negated or stopped, we can normal summon the Molt Charmy. So ideally, our newly drawn card would be a starter and/or extender to the 7th Ascension. We now have 4 hand traps. Do we droll them, turning off our own Fool Loss? So there is some overlap there. Ash negate the Inclusion Mate, which searches for Sulfador, which we already have in our hand. You what, mate? Let's go into a Zombie Vampire. Droll and lock Bird. Drolling ourselves, as we are going to be milling 4 cards off of both players' decks here to summon among those 4. I'm curious, what were we going to top deck into after this Droll? We have 2 overlapping starter cards here. Well, I mean, it got negated, so we're now going to see that exactly. Little Knight is here. On summon, banish away the Ash Blossom. As the Sulfaneer, discard Sulfador to Reborn here, popping itself to summon from the deck. We have Tristaros ready in response to you activating your Ghost spell. We can now summon from the deck if we'd like to, and that's exactly what we're doing as you're attempting to stop the Sulfador from reborning. Well, I still have Sulfador. Crystron Alesk. I think the effect of Tristaros is so damn cool. Chaining to them activating, playing through a hand trap, crazy. Pop the Crystron Synchro, summon 2 cards from the deck. It almost does not matter how many hand traps you have. We had like 3 to 4 hand traps. Well, we drew into like a 5th one with the Droll and Lockbird even. Nothing could stop them. They're unstoppable. Cyber Dragon Infinity is here. Now we gotta be careful with the Infinity and the Dragster. So let's look into the ruling here. We read the Tachyon. It states that you can only activate 1 per turn. The Infinity states that it negates the activation. So if the Tachyon's negated, we could search for another one and make it usable right away. If we do a Dragster instead, does Dragster negate the activation or the effect? If we negate the effect, then they can't activate another Tachyon. We negate, it's a double activation negate, so it's a double negative on negating a card like Tachyon. We're gonna summon the Ryzeal off the top of the deck. A great rip, ain't no way. Aggregator is going to negate the Infinity. Little Knight's gonna chain banish away the Ryzeal. And Citri is going to, within the main phase, reborn the Sulfador and likely go into a Dragster. Just like that, we have an activation negate as the Infinity is negated. And if the Dragster negates the 7 Tachyon, we'll just use another one. Now the Sword, is this a special summon or normal? It does not show yet because I did it too quickly. It was a normal summon because of our Ryzeal being banished. We had to commit to a normal. We're going to search for the Ice, which cannot be normal summoned. We're going to 7th Ascension. Negating the 7th Ascension and not a 7th Tachyon. I guess technically it doesn't matter because if they have one already in the hand, it's still activatable. Even if you negate the 7 Tachyon, there would be another. This will allow the Tristaris to go into an Excel Synchro to make a level 10, but Baron de Flor is banned. What do we summon instead? Well, we saw in the top 16 video what we summon instead. Let's see. Of course, we go into the Excel, but the Excel goes into something you never see in Master Duel. I have not really seen. This is it. Into a Fabled Levi Lazabul, which will take control of an opposing monster. At the cost of attributing itself, that is. Wait, permanently? For good? Forever? It's mine? Okay. You don't even give it back. Infinity, given the Sword Ryzeal that good suck. This Vern's going to banish, search in her deck for a Tristaros. If we had a Plasma Hole in Grave and they were to still have their Ice Ryzeal, they could have used it to maybe Xyz. Infinity can negate the effect of a card, not just the activation of a card, so it would be able to stop that if that was even a play. Wow, Crystron's winning. Crystron's winning what should have been a bad matchup for them. Unbelievable. Why did this Vern do that? Did we miss lethal? Yeah, we did. Okay, it's okay. Droll off the top of the deck, self-inflicted lethal. Let's hop into another match. Oh, a loss, Ash, negate. So I guess that leads into, are these collabs short-term gain for Magic? Because they're definitely gaining. I was told that Maliss would still be the best deck with this ban list. Now, of course, one tournament is not enough to truly determine that. It's still interesting that there's no Maliss in the top 4. Instead, there were 2 Ryzeals. I read from many that also said that this format is so unfair for Ryzeal because they need Mitsurugi with all these hits. Well, apparently that's not true, and also Maliss was not the best deck, at least for today's event. There's a lot of disruptions. You don't need me to tell you that. We're going to fuse away the field, though. Now, with the Mood Dragon hitting the field, what are we now at? Is the Drill Beam dead? It's not, unfortunately, because we still have Barrel in hand. I say unfortunately because I am rooting for the non-Ryzeal deck, but not for the player. I root for the decks. We have Plug-in to give it an additional pop, into a pop, into a pop, into a pop. We have at least 5 forms of disruption. Now, the Mood Dragon can make our monsters untargetable. We're going to, instead of pop, we're going to negate a monster effect. Little Knight it up. On summon, banish a card in the field or in the grave. We're gonna go for the plugin. Plugin's gonna give the detonator an additional pop. Little Knight is going to attempt to banish away the detonator. Now, this is the problem. We now negate everything. You have to be careful about getting baited on your Little Knight, especially when using its effect to banish on the same chain of your first banish, because one Imperm, one Veiler, one Drill Beam negates everything. Your double disruption is gone. Both. And you're banished. Now, to be fair, we're gonna lose anyway, right? Now, we do have a Memento horse that can follow up and pretty much do nothing because they still have 3 forms of disruption. Activate, pop your mate, got him. We're going to at least be able to fuse the graveyard. Okay, we have 2 more disruptions. It's not completely over. Or is it? Are we making a Baguska now? Baguska time! Do not wait. I'm not trying to give tips to Ryzeal players. I mean, I guess to show that I'm not biased, I help everyone out. Do not wait to chain summon Bagooska in response to the monster they summon is activating, because Bagooska will not negate it. If they summon it in attack position, then you chain link to summon a Bagooska. If they summon it in defense, then you chain link to Bagooska, it will be negated. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is we summoned Bagooska at the absolute correct moment, not waiting for the monster to be summoned. Begin. Oh, Sephiroth, I see you. Also, I would play a Sephiroth deck. That would be something else. Twin Dragon into an Ash, negate. I don't think so, mate. Finger the Ash, negate. What? That's banned. You are banned. Idnasadol, not in the TCG. Let's freaking go. It's a 93% chance to first turn kill. Do we win? You gotta roll the die. And it's a 93% chance that all of your opponent's monsters are negated and cannot declare an attack during their next turn. 1, 7. The opponent has to roll less than a 7. That's not good. Well, now you could change their 1 into a 7. So they rolled a 13 and you rolled a 7. Got him. That's it. You now lose. First turn kill. TCG Banlist, let's go. All right, sorry, you got TCG'd. And Vanquish Soul K9 is actually a relevant top tier deck that could easily summon this. And not only does it summon it, but one of the Xyz materials used to summon it makes the Paradise Smasher untargetable. Can't imperm it, can't Veiler it. You have to stop the combo before it happens. Hey, I can't declare an attack with a monster that can attack every single monster in the field because the Paradise Smasher also does prevent me from attacking. It was a good effort, though. Thank you for not surrendering. Thank you for showing what you could have done. If Timmy did not know that it also stopped it from attacking, that probably would have worked at locals, I think so. 1-1, let's go. Oh, I'm confused though. Blue Eyes way, okay, and we switched up the order. Okay, top 4, final duel. Primite Ryzeal, not Blue Eyes, versus Memento. Triple Bone Party with a 1-card starter. These are not extenders, these are like prank kids. You can only normal summon one of them. Let's see what's good. Barrel setting up the Lordy Load. We have no hand traps whatsoever, but we have at least 2 plays. So theoretically, if they only have 1 disruption versus our 2, there's a Floodgates, and there's the Drill Beam, and a Veiler, and an Ash Blossom. So we have 3 disruption plus a Floodgate. Any non-link is negated, straight up. On the field, non-link, so links are good. The best link would be obviously the Little Knight, and the Little Knight dodges the Drill Beam. Even more perfect, that is incredible. If we're able to, we don't play Link 1s though, so we need something from the extra deck plus Little Knight to even try to banish. But it's gonna have to try to banish through a Veiler and a Drill Beam. Huh? Set 4 pass, that's it. We're gonna have to wait for the Bagooska to change its battle position. Lordy Load, Reborn, Bone Party, Ash, negate. What is going on with these plays? Mate, where are the Ryzeal cards? We have a dead Plasma Hole. It does absolutely nothing. End the turn, back to you. Now, Bagooska is balanced, right? If the game wasn't as aggressive as it is, the Bagooska turns off. In the very next turn, it's gonna die. 7 Tachyon searching for the extra Ryzeal. And when I talk about aggression being an issue, it's the issue that the Bagooska player can immediately change it to attack position, then win that turn. If we were not that aggressive and powerful, then it would be much more balanced of turning off your Bagooska and not freaking winning that turn, which it looks like we're possibly doing, as the Star Liege is making 2,000 attack or higher monsters indestructible by card effect and untargetable, but sure, it thinks that he maybe has at least an impermanence. At minimum, a Call to the Grave. boy, would he be shocked to learn that Melito has literally nothing. A 1-for-1 set in the back row is the last thing Shurit believes that is there. We're going to go into the Utopic Ray Lancer, double the attack, boost, destroy a monster by battle, and then activate in the damage step to perform a second attack. We're gonna Bone Party, attempt to block the second attack. Well, Drill Beam, negate. And from there, we could not stop the inevitable. Ryzeal, in fact, will be in the grand finale. But Crystron could still stop it. Again, a second time in a row, can Crystron stop, theoretically, a bad matchup, Ryzeal, from winning another Meta freaking Weekly? I did the TCG ban list for the cope that Ryzeal or Maliss would not win. YouTube and Twitch, reminder, this Wednesday, we go back to the Master Duel ban list, and they're likely have already announced a new ban list by the time I'm telling you this, and we're going to be abiding by the new ban list and the newly released Master Duel set of Ignister, Regenesis, Heraldry, Gem Knight, and Invoked will be here on Wednesday. So I'll see you on twitch.tv/Dcade and on YouTube as we run the new event to see what no one will know is possibly the new best decks of the format. So make sure you show up to that. And with that said, let's get ready for the grand finale. Crystron versus Ryzeal Primite. Begin. Ryzeal gets to go first for some reason. We don't want to ash the load because we know it's a Ryzeal deck. They're going to set up the Drill Beam. And the load is now committing to not being able to special summon for activate a special summon card for the rest of this turn. That's it. We cannot make a duo drive and search our deck. We're going to ash, negate the 7 Tachyon mate. And with that, we just have Drill Beam, ash, and Droll. Triple disruption. No Ryzeal plays available. Let's Wedge Temple it up. Do we wait to Drill Beam the Senjin? We don't. Do we do Droll though? Do we finger the Droll? Yes, we do. Finger the Droll. Drill Beam the finger. You will not be stopping my Droll. No more adding for you. Now, from here, what do we have? We can still put ourselves in the back row and then summon the Doom Dragon to push a monster on the field into the back row. The Ash has not been used yet. Is it stuck there, the Robotic Knight? That is going to mess up the Drill Beam for a long time. We're going to Ash negate the Zombie Vampire from milling 4 cards. Well, I can now, whatever I want, with the Foolish Burial, send exactly what I want from the deck to the grave. Let's first battle phase, take out the barrel. Well, I guess what we want to send from the deck to the grave is not going to be that good because we are under the effect of Droll. So if we send a Smiger to search for the inclusion, we can't because we can't search. Star Ryzeal, holy moly, it's a brick. And so is the Plasma Hull. A brick and a brick. These are bricks. These are not 1-card starter. There are not extender starters, but it's a Typhon. Typhon is here. Plan L. Return the Zombie Vampire back to the extra deck. 2,900 to the face. And that's it. Wow. Crystron is going to win game 1? No way. And we're playing Pirellia in the main deck? Send the Smiger, which is what we wanted to do if we weren't under the effect of Droll in the previous turn. Grab the inclusion, and let's just wham bam thank you ma'am, I'm from here. Tristaros in case that back row card's activatable, but we know it is not. Summon Sulfador, pop the inclusion, send 2 cards to the deck to the grave, add a Smiger with the Thirst Burn, further go into the Crystron Alesk, add a card engraved back to the hand, Cluster is here. Tristaros is going to be popping the Alesk, summon 2 bodies to the deck, plus another body from Engrave or Banish. Further go into the Nova, into the Infinity, and Infinity is going to give that Typhon the good suck it deserves. Suck it up, a boosted 2,900, 5,500 damage. We need 1,100 more, and just like that, we have game number 1 going second. Ryzeal went first, and we took game 1. Ain't no way. We're set up to win the match. That's it. Let's see what's good. double disrupt plus a board breaker. We have a 1-card combo plus an extender and a starter. So a starter plus a starter and extender, board breaker, hand trap. This is an incredible hand. This is beautiful. And Droplet is more than just a board breaker. It specifically counters Detonator. An untargetable Detonator that the Star Leech will make untargetable. Ash, negate. So what's great about this is if you use the cross to negate the Ash, you chain Nibiru, and then you still don't get to search because you detach on resolution. This is pairing up hand traps together to make the Nibiru much more powerful. Well, I'm not taking the... Oh, he is taking the bait. I guess we can now... So you don't know until the resolution, unfortunately, because of how cross works. And I guess we would have to, if we definitively wanted to stop the search, we'd have to add Nibiru on top of the Ash, but then they stop the Nibiru, but then the Ash stops it. So what do you think? What was the correct use of this scenario? Do we just wait for them to further commit to the field and then we hit them with a bigger Nibiru, or should we have paired them together? Well, what's great about this is by using the cross to stop the Ash, you can't finger my Nibiru. So this turns out to be better by waiting with Nibiru, I believe. Because otherwise we'd finger Ash and then cross negate Nibiru, but now Nibiru cannot be negated. Uh-oh, Nibiru's gone. Our great hand is not so great anymore. Well, so much for that. TTT and Called Bind ensured that any use of your hand traps in any way you wanted to would have not been good. Damn. And we're dealing with Baguska. After seeing he has Droplet, we looked at that hand. We know exactly what they have. We know that we could finger the Smiger. We know that the Baguska will get negated by Droplet. We're gonna cross, and we just activate. Oh no, that's not the hidden card. The hidden card is the Sulfador. I was gonna say we activate the hidden card so we have even more information. We have an unknown, which is now known. We know exactly. We have to finger this preemptively. It banishes by cost. We have to use it now. The forward searches for the inclusion. And now we know that there's a Droplet. We know that it's set. We know that we win. Damn. Called by TTT and Cross perfectly enough to stop both hand traps, Nibiru and Ash. Drill Beam, drill away the Droplet. Rip. All right. Crystron goes first for game 3. Let's see how it goes. Let's do it. Robotic Knight. Oh my Jesus. Lethal damage. 1 and 1. Let's go. This is it. We are going first. We have a play. We have a play plus extender. We have a play plus extender. Without even, I don't see the Ryzeal's hand here. They would need at least 3 hand traps to stop this. Fualos, Bell, and Droll. I mean, Droll overlaps with the Fualos, but Fualos is much more than a hand trap that specifically stops a play. It tries to stop the entire turn. We do have Ash for the Fualos, which they could then follow up. Droll's another card that tries to end the turn early, and then beyond that, we have the Bell. Bell could stop, try to summon from the graveyard. That would probably be the Sulfaneer. The Sulfador would summon from the hand instead. We just gotta see how this plays out. This is gonna be a close one. Negate the Fualos. You have 3 plays versus 2 hand traps. Let's do it. Senjin for our starter. We can't use either card yet. Now we can hit him with the Droll. Droll turns our 3 plays into can't activate inclusion, can't activate Smiger to search. Our 3 plays are now 1, a single play. And the zombie vampire has the effect to summon from the graveyard as part of the mill. So the Bell could just freaking negate it. Well, we use the other effect of Smiger, which has a downside. The downside is here. Let's read it. The downside, and then also we couldn't even make the zombie vampire because we can't search the golem, but let's read the downside. Why do people normally don't do this? They normally don't do this because for the rest of the turn, you can only summon machine synchro monsters. No Link, Nothing else. That's it. Machine Synchro. Tristaros, let's pop our Machine Synchro, summon 2 bodies from the deck. Sulfador, so we can't make the Infinity. That's not a Machine Synchro. It is a Machine Xyz. We can't add from the graveyard or banishment. And because we're not activating to add from the banishment or activating to add from the grave, we're activating where we choose on the resolution where we add, thus the bell can negate. If it were worded like Triple Tactics Talent, it would not be bellable if we chose the effect to add a banished card. Inclusion, Reborn the Tristaros. So a decent response to all those hand traps. Minding, it was just the draw and the bell because we negated the Fool loss. We have a spell and trap card negate. The Tristaros summoning from the deck, we don't have the Excel Synchro play anymore, so the Tristaros summoning from the deck, what is it even going to be able to go into? Not really a form of disruption. We pretty much just have Dragster. And they got the X Ryzeal, which the Dragster doesn't even stop. Uh-oh. They literally... Ryzeal has 1 play. They don't have an extender. Nothing. Just 1 play. And we couldn't set up 1 disruption for their 1 play. And that 1 play is just +1, +2, +3. The pluses don't stop. 1 card, +3. Very cool. +4. We're gonna grab another card. 1 X Ryzeal, +1, 2, 3, 4. Pot of Greed doesn't do this. We got a Plasma Hole. And we got the Cross for our 5th summon. Just in case you had a Nibiru in hand. Definitely can't use that now. Let's attach the Aggregate. Duo Drive Mate. Is Ryzeal gonna win this? Search plugin and node. Plugin is gonna Reborn. Attach a card from the deck onto the duo. Let's activate the Cross. Return 2 cards back. Draw Triple Tactics Talent. Take control. Now you're trying to end the duel on this turn. We don't even get another turn. I mean, we activate Golem, you pop it. We activate Inclusion, you pop it. We probably didn't even really have another turn, but we still could have had a chance. Wait, do we have another turn? Sulfaneer activate. Summon from the deck, mate. We do get another turn. Thank the Lord. Yes. We get to see why Ryzeal's... You topped a... now, they had Cross to negate it anyway, so it's not that dramatic, but still. What the hell? This for insert our deck. Activate a Millennium. We're going to wait on that. Can try to take control of you first. Now, the Cross can negate the ability of taking control. Is this a quick effect? Can we pop you before we activate? It is quick. We can activate whenever we want, like a Requiem, to tribute and yoink. You don't tribute as a cost? You piece of shite card. What? Tribute as an effect, and if you do, which you don't because Detonator pops you, you only then get to take control if you tributed by effect. Wow. That's bad. No way. That sucks. And the Aggregator negated the Golem. Searching for a second copy of Inclusion. Activate, Detonator, pop away. Mate didn't even have to Detonator pop the Golem. I can't believe Detonator countered Fabled, countered Inclusion, counters Golem. We're gonna summon the Sulfaneer. Pop the Golem here. Does Detonator also stop the Tristaros effect? Wipe away both cards. Tristaros, summon for the deck. Valor, negate. Oh my Jesus. Before the inevitable loss, I do want to see how Detonator stops another effect potentially. Wait, we didn't pop the other one? Typhon is here. You no longer can activate. Typhon, Plan L, doesn't even work because it gets negated by the Cross. To battle we go. Can't even destroy a monster by battle. Detach, protect. So if we even got to the point where Tristaros can activate Engrave, banish this card to destroy a synchro you control. So banish this card, Detonator destroys the synchro before you can destroy the synchro. And if you do destroy the synchro, which you don't because Detonator destroys the synchro, you do not summon 2 Crystrons to your deck. So almost every single effect, the Detonator stops. This is supposed to just destroy, but somehow against Crystron, it's a pseudo negate, negate, negate on every single play mate. Lethal damage. Damn. Ryzeal wins another Meta Weekly with the TCG ban list. Even though this happened, please be honest, was this more enjoyable? Maybe it was just different, and just being different was more enjoyable. It doesn't have to be better than what the Master ban list was. It was just different enough. Was it different enough? Should we do more events like this when the meta gets stale, later on in the metas? When the new Ignister cards come out, we're of course going to be going back to the Macedo ban list. So at least the next Meta Weekly on Wednesday, Macedo ban list. The Meta Weekly after that Wednesday on the next Sunday, Macedo ban list. But beyond those 2 Meta Weeklies, if we're really hating the meta more so than it is right now, we could go back to TCG ban list or try a different type of ban list, some kind of other custom format. I don't know. You tell me. Whatever you're going to watch and whenever the players are willing to play, I'll do it. Okay? I need your feedback. Hey, I guess the last Meta Weekly, let's compare the few Meta Weeklies that happened recently. 179, 178. This was last week. 9 Maliss and Ryzeal. The week before, 13 Maliss and Ryzeal. I think this looks better. From 9 to 16 Maliss and Ryzeal, we have 6 instead. 4 Memento. There was a 3rd top deck with the rest being miscellaneous. I'm quite shocked that Memento did this well. Was it the hype around being able to use Paradise Smasher despite it not really seeing much use today? A lot of people view it as win more, not really needed. Let's check out the decks. Starting off with FM Productions, we got Plant, of course, across the board. There's going to be no Maxx whatsoever. Thank you to all the players that remembered to only play 1 Call by the Grave. And we also tried our best to be lenient on anyone accidentally joining the event with the incorrect deck list. We did not just DQ you or yell at you. Gave you time to fix, and when necessary, we did have to give some game losses. We have Scar with the Fiendsmith Ryzeal. And then we have Branded Ricky. Here's the main deck. There is the extra deck. And then we have Sooth with Pure Ryzeal. Despite the semi-limits across the board on Sword, Ice, and X Ryzeal, we still chose to play Pure. And we didn't even add additional 7th Ascensions to give us more 1-card starters. And then we have Yusuf, Memento, nothing too crazy. We also have YD, Stardust Hope, Yubel. Even with the semi-limited Phantom of Yubel and Master Duel, it's limited to 1 in TCG. Yet now was the moment he chose to play the deck because you get 3 Throne, I guess that's the benefit here. Really, that's it. Good job, Stardust. And then we have Kaido. Kaido with Memento. And then Shadow with more Memento. Even with the TCG ban list, there's a lot of people still playing Lancia. Because Maliss, of course, is still powerful, even with being semi-limited, even without the Ignister cards, no Link Decoder, no Apollo, still worthy enough to Lancia them. But to be fair, he also has Pirellia against Ryzeal. Bori with the Blue Eyes. We got Flux Cap with that. Looking good. We have Maliss. And then 60-card Diamond Boss. Despite calling your deck Special Summon Slop all day, I enjoyed you playing it. Thank you. So good job, Diamond Boss. You are a boss. There's the extra deck. We have Funkinator getting funky. Well done. And then we have Melito. Paradise Band, You Up Mate. We also have Ami, X-Ami, Pot of P to make up for the hits. And then second place Crystron, which we very vividly saw why Crystron loses to Ryzeal in the third game. And just like that, Shuri, not pure Ryzeal, Primite Ryzeal to make up for the fact of reduced combo starters. And not only that, we even, in addition to the Primite plays, we have 2 7th Ascensions and even a Small World. Well done. So good job to all the players. Thank you all very much. Thank you for the viewers, the commenters, even on this YouTube. If the videos do well, if I look back and the streams did well, I'm more open to run more custom events through the Meta Weekly. And of course, tier list did not change. Nothing happened here. It's the same tier list as we labeled this as special. So thank you very much. Let's go.